It's 4 inches. Okay, what do we see? Huge wound channel. Do we have our ruler? Yeah, don't worry about it. I could look it up real quick. 54. Okay, I got it right here. Standard deviation of 27. Okay, so they're both 62 grains, right? Okay, cool. All right, I'm ready. Welcome to a new episode of the Whoa Show. On this episode, we'll be comparing the M855 green tip to the M855A1, which has been around for more than a decade now and gone through many iterations. It's a very interesting projectile. The M855A1 is very hyped and controversial ammunition because there's a lot of debate on the history of it, where it came from, whether or not its performance was worth the squeeze. In the past, I have definitely talked smack about the M855A1, thinking that it might be a little bit overhyped, but after shooting it into a ballistic gel block, I have changed my mind. I take it back. I take back everything bad I've ever said about M855A1. We chronographed 10-shot group with, actually, what production here is this? This is 2002 production M855, and this is 2012, so a decade later, M855A1. We chronographed it. The A1 was a little bit faster. The Garmin Zero records all the data for us. It's awesome. It's $600 or so. It makes it super easy to get muzzle velocity data. So yeah, A1 was shooting at 3,009 feet per second. Wow. With a standard deviation of 34 feet per second. Standard green tip M855 was shooting at 2,961 feet per second. With 37 feet per second standard deviation. So both around 3,000 feet per second and around 30 feet per second standard deviation. We were using the Hodge Defense 14.5 barrel. Hodge Defense back in 2014, 2015 was really pushing for contracts that were going for the M855A1. They worked with FN to use a proprietary steel blend that theoretically works better with the high velocities and pressures that you're getting out of A1. From our muzzle velocity difference, we saw only a marginal increase, like what is it, 50 feet per second difference in velocity. I think a military regular green tip is loaded pretty hot. Both the projectiles have a 62 grain weight. So the fact that there's a 50 feet per second difference in velocity, not that much. I think the main difference between standard green tip and A1 is really obvious when you look at the gel block though. The construction of the bullet is clearly different because I've never seen, I've only just started shooting gel blocks myself, and I've seen a few in display cases at SHOT Show or other people's ballistic gel block testing. But man, M855A1 violently explodes. It like immediately fragments upon impact. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy. Look at you can see all the copper right there. There's literally no neck. If you call it a neck, maybe that's a half an inch of a neck before massive expansion. It expands like VMAX, right? But then, unlike VMAX, it continues penetrating all the way through. You can see the steel penetrator towards the end of the block, so it doesn't blow completely through the block like with the 70 grain TSX, but the penetration is still very impressive. The expansion and the wound channel, very, very impressive. If we look here at regular old green tip, it has about a 4-inch neck. So I was reading an old article that Frank Plum, Special Forces guy, a neighbor of mine actually, he was writing about ammunition early in GWAT and about how I think it was like you need 5.5 inches of penetration before M855 starts reliably yawing. And we kind of see that here. So you have like about a 4-inch neck before you start to get expansion, fragmentation. His article, he noted that, yeah, a lot of times people, the targets of military ammunition were not 5 inches thick, or where you're actually hitting people. Like, there's only so much depth. Torso, I forgot what the average torso depth is, but feels like to me about 6-7 inches, and I'm a fat American, a fat-ish American. The fact that A1 expands so violently upon impact makes it a more reliably deadly projectile. I would say that as long as you have a good weapon system that can feed this ammunition without jamming the penetrator into your feed ramps and gouging your receiver, this ammunition is actually pretty desirable. Unfortunately, M855A1 is extremely hard to get. There's no way to get it completely legally, I would say.
Right to jail.
The only way to get it right now on Gunbroker,
Right to jail, right away.
through gray market channel,
Believe it or not, jail.
results in its pricing being around $3 a round.
You're charging too high price, you right to jail.
Yeah, you can't get it officially for commercial or civilian use. It's good to know that our military official issue ammunition accidentally kicks ass, because there's no way they designed it to be this good on purpose. It just must be a random perk. Yeah, I just don't understand how the military managed to accidentally get something great. How did the no leg tuck military, the 6.8 battle rifle military, get kick-ass 5.56 ammunition? I don't know. I'm not an ammo nerd. I just know that when you shoot a ballistic gel block with it, it creates an amazing, spectacular effect. So yeah, it's cool. Hopefully it becomes available as military surplus like regular M855 at some point. We can all get it, use it for home defense or something, or zombie defense. It's probably great against Terminators too, right? It's effective against mechanicals and biologicals. So yeah, shot it out of the Hodge Defense 14.5 like it's meant to be. If you need a Garmin chrono or Hodge barrels, when we get them, hit up weapon.outfitters.com. All right, check us out next episode. Catch you later. Let's go. Let's go back.